All right. Always good to get a win. It's I thought give a lot of credit to South Carolina State. I thought they played hard. I thought they'd been playing hard. I told Coach Martin before the game, very impressed with his team on tape. Very impressed, obviously coming off a win at an American school with the East Carolina win. Just you can just see that they're continuing to play harder. They're getting a little bit more feel for the system. And we had 3 goals tonight. Basically, we knew we had to guard the ball. Didn't think we did that well. We had to rebound, which they came in on the offensive glass. I mean, just tops, on the charts, offensive rebounding. We won the glass by 3, which I thought was big, and then we had to take care of the ball, and we didn't do that worth a flip. And give them credit. That's why the game was tight, right? When you got 3 objectives and you just do one, that's gonna put a game, in the balance. But give our guys credit. They stayed in the fight, and Alex Williams came in and was ready to play. And so, really proud of Alex. He's obviously been through, a lot of different adverse moments in his career, but his talent is evident, and his growth is evident. And we've been working with him, and he's got tremendous talent. I've told a lot of people he's got. I mean, he can be an all-conference player, and we saw tonight. I mean, he played 8 minutes and got 9 points. I'm sorry, 15 points. He got 15 points in 9 minutes, and that's not the first time we've seen that. We've seen that a lot in practice. It's more so finding consistency on the defensive end and playing the game as hard as he needs to play. And but you know what? He was ready tonight when his number was called, and I thought that was really hard because he didn't play first half. And the mentality to be able to sit there and stay engaged, and really you get to that point in the game, and you probably feel like the shirt's not coming off. And he stayed in there, and man, are we glad he did, because he came in there with some good fire and some good spirit, and obviously made some big threes for us. Not all bad, obviously we got up there, looked like we got up by 15 at one point, and maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 16. But obviously distributed the ball well, 22 assists, shot the ball 56% from the floor, but I just didn't think we turned the ball over 20 times and we gave them 21 assists. And we just got to be more consistent on the defensive end.
I thought the first 3 or 4 possessions, I think you guys got up 9-1, and the defensive intensity was really good. And then it dropped off a little bit after that. Is that just a natural drop off, or what was the difference there?
Well, we couple layers there. First of all, we told them at that timeout, East Carolina was up 10-2, and there's a timeout, and then next thing you know, East Carolina was losing, so we told them stay focused. There's a concept they've been running the last 2 games, just a flow ball screen continuity that we went over yesterday, and we had one scouting adjustment that we put in that we thought we could affect it, and on both occurrences, the first 2 times they ran it, we didn't hold the net, and we switched out high, but we didn't hold the net, and so they got a back cut layup right out 2 of them, bang bang, and just easy scout report things that we've got to have a little bit more focus on. But they got those 2 layups, and then they got another open shot at the top by 11. Again, didn't communicate the ball screen, and I thought we give them credit, right? They made shots and they made the plays, and but our focus, we just lost focus, and it's something we got to continue to work on. It's got to matter, and you got to be a championship level ball club. You got to have a fight to win possessions, and it's got to be every single possession that you're chasing a standard. You're not just out there, well, what's the score? Okay, we're up, and so I can get out of a stance, or I don't have to talk, or I don't have to have vision. And we got some of our older players that got to be better there. And we've got to have captains on this defense, and Slauson and Mike, they've got to set the tone there if we want to do what we want to do, right? And I didn't think today we did that, and but credit our depth and credit our team that we were able to continue to make a run. And I thought Alex, we've talked about him, but I thought Garrett had a big time day, and I thought Joe Anderson played really well today. I thought those 3, and Mark, put him in there. I thought those 4 really picked us up today.
You mentioned the turnovers. I think at times this season, Jalen's been really good at distributing the basketball. At other times, it seems like he's pressing a little bit. And there was a bounce pass there in the first half where he kind of wanted it to be there, but the back cut wasn't quite there. How do you channel that as a coach
Yeah.
for him?
It's told John Wooden. I mean, you want to play fast, just not in a hurry. And I thought their style is going to speed you up, right? So you're constantly fighting. Are we playing fast or are we playing in a hurry? And I thought tonight we played in a hurry a lot of the game. And some of the passes, we're just forcing things that aren't there. And, we just got to hit singles, right? Just single, just move it. If the guy's open, hit him, play the next concept. I felt like we were forcing actions and forcing passes. We tried to post law one time. They defended it great, got in front, and Garrett just throws it down there. Like we have a counter on that action to go to the dribble handoff off the pin on the weak side. Just play the next concept. And, it was just kind of forcing transition in a hurry. Had to travel off the baseline there. Just some things that we've got to have a little bit more focus. And, we're scoring the ball well. We're shooting the ball decent. Our offensive numbers are good. The turnovers, I feel like we've been turning the ball over too much, at the beginning of the season anyway. Tonight it really got us because it was a team that really tried to create them. And but we're going to have to be better there. Like you have to value the ball. And to leave our feet on plays at this point in the year, like we shouldn't be doing that. And we just got to be better there.
A guy that I think has played really well the past 3 games, and maybe his best game tonight was Marcus Foster. Seemingly he was just all over the floor, just max effort. Just talk about his performance tonight, and really over this last 3 games, I think he's really blossomed.
Yeah, he's really just increased his focus, and his preparation. He's put a lot more thought and effort into it. You can just see him before the game. Really just trying to get his focus right. And the best thing about Marcus, though, the last 2 games, he's had 8 total assists. And before that, it might have been 1 or 2 in the previous handful of games. And so the best thing he's doing is he's playing aggressive. But he had 4 assists tonight. He had 4 assists at App State. And so he's making plays for others as well. And, he's shooting the ball. I don't know what he was from 3 tonight. He was over 2 from 3 tonight. But in practice, he's threading the net. And, he's one of those guys that when he plays with his motor all the way up, there's a lot of different things he can do on the court. And now as he's creating for others and he's mixing that in, he's starting to really become a complete player. And, I'll still get on him. I think there's times when he can spread out and play with a little bit more of an edge and motor on defense. But, he's an elite defender when he's 100% locked in. When he's really got that motor revved up and he's playing as hard as he can, he's putting thought into what he's doing, he's an elite defender. And, he's going to be key for us. There's no doubt about it. He's going to be key for us. I really feel like when he and Slauson are locked in defensively, it changes our team. And, and you can add Mike in that mix. But, JP's given consistent effort on that end. I feel like he's the one that's probably given us the most consistent effort on the defensive end. And that's why even tonight, didn't necessarily light up the stat sheet offensively, but he's got 7 points, turned the ball over too much, but he's still a plus 17. And, you're looking at it, 33 minutes plus 17, because he's taking a lot of pride in his defense, and he's playing with that edge. And JP's going to make shots. JP's a 40% three-point shooter. There's no doubt in my mind. He's got to relax and knock him down and, get his confidence up there. But he's the one I think is bringing the most juice on the defensive end of the floor. And, once we get everybody there consistently and we start to really recognize ourselves as a defensive ball club, then that's when we're going to take another jump.
Finally, there's a good High Point team comes in here. I know they had the kid transfer out last year, and they got House, a very good player that has been scoring the ball well for them. They've already played a team in our conference and won a pretty game in the league. Just talk about what challenges they bring on Tuesday night.
I haven't watched them yet, but I know from last year. We were fortunate to win there last year, and made some plays. I know we were down 5 late in regulation. They're good. I remember that last year. You mentioned House. He's a really good player. I remember Austin Bryant was just a really good player. They got another scorer that's playing well. I think they have about 3 guys north of 15 points a game right now, and so they're playing well, and they're going to be excited to play. And we've got to make sure that the good thing about the early tip time, we get a little bit more recovery time today, and but then we got to get back to it tomorrow. We got to have a really good 2-day prep, Sunday and Monday, and be ready to come in here on Tuesday night and play. But just without having much, I'll start to dive into them tonight. But I keep pretty much a good focus on the game at hand. But just based on their scores, we're gonna have our hands full, and we're gonna have to guard. And I got hope for our defense. I'm not discouraged by our defense. It's more so consistency. And I thought that first half in Boone was the best defense we've had all year. And we've got to somehow channel that, and we've got to be able to find the desire. When you're getting yourself ready to play, that's where our focus is at. And when you're practicing, that's where your focus is at. And we're just not quite there yet. We've started a lot of practices with 4-minute games to work on our start. And consistently, the second team has come out in those first 4-minute games, and they're getting 10+ points, right? Well, that's not good. You know what I mean? Like you're starting practice, and you're giving the second team, any team, 10 points in a 4-minute media. I mean, that's a 100-point pace in a ball game. And so, it's more so just finding that consistency, finding that defensive desire to understand the urgency that it has to be played with. And really, it's like I told our guys. I mean, it's the springboard for everything else we do, because the best part of what we do offensively is run. And, when you're grabbing that ball in the net, you can't run as well. And so, we've got to continue to understand we can't be selective. We can't wait for urgent moments. We can't wait for deficits. We've got to find more consistency in our defensive performance, and that's going to be the focus in the next 48 hours as we get ready to play a really good high-point team. All right. Thank you. He did.